Alright, here's part 3. Again, if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, you gotta do that first, because you're not gonna understand this. But I hope I didn't mumble there. In between episodes, I realized I should probably put Minecraft on here, so there's Minecraft. Okay, right now I work on Zelda. 4 more games in here. Skyward Sword. Oh boy, another controversial pick. I really like Skyward Sword. I haven't finished it. I got to Din's Silent Realm, and then I just kind of got a little burnt out on it because, again, linearity. Something you gotta understand: linearity is not the downfall of Skyward Sword. The downfall of Skyward Sword is repetition. It 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 loves the number three. You fight Girahim 3 times. You fight the imprisoned 3 times. You go to each area 3 times. There's 3 of everything. Now, mostly, I don't mind that. I'm okay with that. But once I got to Din's Silent Realm, I wasn't able to I wasn't really able to finish it. I just didn't mind. I didn't mind giving up because I knew what Skyward Sword was all about, and I'm okay with that. It's a good game. I really like it. It has a great story, and you should play it too, if you can. So if I didn't put it and haven't finished, I would put it right up here, Pokemon Black. But I'm gonna put it right here instead. Wow, that was a really short discussion. That was a minute and 30 seconds. All right. Link Between Worlds. Ooh. All right, this is a game that initially, before I played it, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like the art style. I don't like the gimmick. And then I played it, and I was like, wow, this game is really good. I found myself legitimately enjoying this game quite a lot because I can just this is another thing with a lot of Zelda games. If I just zone out and not pay attention to the story, I can really enjoy the game. I like one of the things that I didn't really like about A Link to the Past. I it's not on this list because I didn't make it very far. Eh. One of the things I didn't like about A Link to the Past is that it isn't gonna respect you. That game isn't really gonna respect you if you can't if you aren't good at the game first of all, and good at finding items. And I am not good at either of those things. Um, so it's like, ugh, ugh, ugh. So it was hard. I didn't like it. I just didn't enjoy like the past very much. I'm sorry. I'm not an old school gamer. And then I played this game and I was like, wow, this is kind of like making A Link to the Past modern. I didn't mind the reused map because again, I didn't make it far into A Link to the Past. Um, and I liked the gameplay mechanic, the wall thing. It's nice because it gets me accustomed to the map of Hyrule, which yes, I believe is gonna be reused in Echoes of Wisdom. It's gonna be reused in of Wisdom. Um, it gets me accustomed to that map without having making me play a game that I'm bad at. And that's definitely a good thing. It makes it more accessible. I like that. And I like the bosses in this game. They're really simple, but they do the trick. They're pretty fun. I like the items in this game. They're not like super good. They're not as good as the new items in Skyward Sword. Again, really controversial idea here, but I like the items in Skyward Sword. Um, I like I think the items are okay. You know, Again, this is another thing where initially I didn't like it, but when I played the game, I did. Um, I at first I didn't like the idea of having to buy items, but then when I played the game, I realized, wow, this game gives you a lot of rupees. You're never really going to be grinding for it, because I hate the idea of having to grind for stuff. I hate that whole thing. One of the reasons I don't play Pokemon very much. One of the reasons I only play competitive Pokemon on Showdown. I hate grinding. Um, but I was like, well, I don't need to grind at all. Like, I didn't go into the tower, the combat tower thing. I didn't do that until I'd already beaten the game once. I just went back to the save file and did it. because why not? So I was like, wow, this game is actually really good. I like it. I'm not gonna put it in my favorites. I don't think I don't think it's been long enough since I played that game to do that, but it's gonna go pretty. Actually, I'm gonna go right here. That's good. I really do like a lot of these games on this list. I like a lot of video games. All right, here we get to the 3D remakes of Ocarina of Time: Majora's Mask. I never played the originals because I never had an N64. So yeah. Anyway, I never finished Ocarina of Time 3D. I never did that. I got stuck on the Gerudo thing. I couldn't find. This sounds really childish of me, but I couldn't find the last carpenter, and I was like, nah, screw it. I'm not gonna look for the last carpenter. It's such a waste of time. But and then I was like, yeah, yeah, I'm prepared to put this in a bad place, but I really enjoyed everything before. I enjoyed pretty much all of the game, most of the game before the Gerudo. I'm another person. I said in the last episode that I liked the Lakebed Temple. I also like the Water Temple. I also like the Water Temple in this game. I'm sure I'd hate the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time original, but this game it was pretty good. I got confused, but I used a guide. I am shameless. I use guides. I used a guide to tell me where to go, and I was like, wow, when I know where to go, I like this game, or I like this temple, this dungeon. Um, because I like the idea. I like the whole idea of changing the water and the everything, and all the keys, and I like the mini bosses, or one mini boss, just two mini bosses in this water temple. But I like that, and I like the combat system. It's all right. The story is meh, I guess. You know, I liked it, but it isn't really anything special to me. I'm gonna put it right up here now. Oh wait, I haven't finished it. I'm gonna put it over here, right here. That's good. Um, Majora's Mask 3D. Now, Majora's Mask. If Twilight Princess didn't exist, Majora's Mask would be my favorite Zelda game. It would be my favorite Zelda game because in really any piece of fiction, my primary concern is that of story, world building, and character building. All right? Majora's Mask does all three with aplomb, which just means it does it really well. The gameplay in Majora's Mask is pretty much it's like Fire Emblem 7, Fire Emblem 8, or Fire Emblem 6, Fire Emblem 7. It's pretty much the same thing, but with new stuff added that make it a bit better. At least that's how I view it. But that's just the moment to moment gameplay. The real central idea of Majora's Mask is completely different from Ocarina of Time. You already know how it works. I'm not gonna have to tell you, so I'm not gonna waste time. But this game touches my heart a little bit. Now I never finished it. I never did. I got to the water temple in this game, and I was like, no, this is the one water temple that I really hate. Okay, I guess there's the water temples in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, but I didn't play those games. They're too expensive, so eh, screw that. But the rest of Majora's Mask with all the side quests, as long as I use a guide, again, shameless, shameless. As long as I use a guide, I'm gonna enjoy Majora's Mask really fully. I I love the 3-day mechanic. It makes everything better. It makes the story poignant. It's all incredible. It's great. So it's going right here at the top. All right, we've finished Zelda. Time for Metroid. Haha. Metroid. All right. I've been a Metroid fan for not really that long. It's only been a year and a half, maybe a year and a half. My first Metroid game was Fusion. At this point, my Game Boy Advance was broken, and I was just using emulators. But Fusion, I enjoyed it. I played Fusion and Other M at the same time. I forgot to put Other M on this list. It would go when I haven't finished, probably about here in between Ocarina of Time and Pokemon Conquest, maybe over here. I thought it was all right, but I have finished all these Metroid games except for Prime 3 because I started playing it not too long ago. I'm still working on it. I do intend to finish it though. But right now we're talking about Super Metroid. Super Metroid, I'm really annoyed when I talk about Super Metroid, and really games like Super Metroid, because it's one of those games where it's completely overrated, I think, probably. But it's still good. It's overrated, but it's good, you know? It's like Ocarina of Time, the original. Overrated, people are nostalgic for it, but it's good, you know? I've played Super Metroid probably about 4 times, and that's pretty much enough for me. Unless I'm like really bored and I'm like, oh, I gotta play a Metroid game. I'm gonna play Super Metroid. I feel like if I want to play a Metroid game, I'm gonna play Zero Mission, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's a great game. The bosses in it are very fun to fight, especially Crocomire. I don't know why I enjoy Crocomire so much. I have a series. I have a series on this YouTube channel with Super Metroid. Some of them don't have noise. Please don't ask why. But I enjoy this game. I've played it multiple times and I enjoy it every time. I'm gonna put it right here. I think this is a pretty fair place to put it. I'm not very good at Metroid, but I never found myself um, really frustrated with it. So this seems a good place to put it. I have not a lot to say about Fusion, so I'm gonna leave that for the next episode. I'll see you later.